Delegates, I'm going to do 700 years of Scottish history in a minute or two, but I thought I would start with some of my own history, because actually you saw it earlier on today. In March 1988, when I stood up in the House of Commons to challenge Nigel Lawson's budget on the issue of the sovereignty of the people and why Westminster could not impose a poll tax on Scotland, taxation specifically forbade by the Treaty of Union, incidentally, which is why my father wouldn't pay his poll tax, although he'd been a law-abiding civil servant for most of his days. The sort of guy, if he dropped his cigarette packet, would have gone back and put it in the bucket, wouldn't pay his poll tax because it broke the Treaty of Union. So when I had 649 MPs of the Labour, Tory parties baying at me, and I'm not sure my two colleagues were entirely supportive of my actions initially, I did it to uphold the sovereignty of the Scottish people. That's why I did it. When Neil Hanvey and Kenny MacAskill gave the Speaker of the House of Commons apoplexy a few weeks ago, I thought if it had gone any more, they'd be looking for a new Speaker as well as a new Chancellor. They did it to uphold the sovereignty of the Scottish people. So I'll give you a wee secret, delegates. I drafted this motion for the National Executive Committee. And the idea that I would draft a motion which didn't explicitly state the claim of right and the sovereignty of the Scottish people is ridiculous. So all I would ask you to do is read the motion. And just in case you don't have it immediately available on your iPad, I'll read it for you. Conference notes the golden thread of Scottish history, the constitutional tradition of the sovereignty of the people to determine whatever government best suits our needs. Conference notes that Scotland's claim of right, asserted by the community of the realm through history, from the 14th century to the cross-party agreement in the 1980s, is supported by international law and the right of self-determination and does not require the permission of the UK Parliament or indeed the UK Supreme Court to be brought into effect. That's what the motion says. Now, I, like Neil Hanvey, have great respect for the work of Salvo and Sarah and all the people who are enthusiastically campaigning on it. I'll happily join that campaign. But that is a campaign group who are looking at Scottish history and looking for ways forward, and Alba will give them maximum support. But Alba is a political party. Our job is to win elections. It's going to be a sair fight, but we've got to win elections. In 1320, when the community of the realm of Scotland addressed a letter of support to Pope John in Avignon in support of the greatest king in Scottish history, good King Robert, you would think that everything in that letter was supportive of Robert the Bruce. No. What it says is he is the defender of our rights, but if he ever is to subvert our rights, we'll drive him from us and get another king, because we shall never subject ourselves to the domination of the English. That's what the Declaration of Arbroath says. Note, it doesn't say we'll have no king, no parliament, no prime minister, no first minister. It says we'll get another one. And for those who say, what do we do if SNP MPs won't uphold the sovereignty of the people, won't uphold the claim of right? The answer's quite simple. We remove them with Alba MPs or those from another party who will do. So I'm asking you, Conference, as a young Member of Parliament who stood up and baited Lawson and Thatcher in 1988, as a First Minister who required one mandate to secure the right of people to vote in a referendum, do not start our conference by rejecting a strategy which upholds the fundamental rights of Scotland, our claim of rights and our sovereignty.